Breaking now on 4 News Now at 6, Spokane's newest homeless shelter may be getting a new operator. What this means for people leaving Camp Hope.
And the skies are clearing, and we are about to get a break from the rain. But we've got more wet weather on the way. Sooner rather than later, I'll let you know when you want a raincoat in your first alert forecast.
The state and Spokane County still cannot agree on a timeline to clear Camp Hope. We have team coverage tonight on how each of them plans on clearing the homeless encampment. You're watching 4 News Now at 6 o'clock.
And we start with breaking news tonight. Tomorrow, the city of Spokane will vote for the Salvation Army to take over the Trent and Cannon shelters. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The Guardians Foundation currently operates those shelters, but the city says it's at risk of not making payroll and operational requirements. The city says that kind of instability could lead to a shutdown, which would put 200 to 300 people back on the streets.
Hoping they'll give us all the details tomorrow, but it's not just that their employee confessed to embezzling money. It's more their response to it and the delay in telling us about it and other things that the administration's been looking at.
If approved, the Salvation Army will take over as shelter operator for both Trent and the Cannon Street shelter. And that will happen midnight on October 31st.
East Spokane business owners say this homeless camp needs to go now. They can't bear the burden anymore.
If you had the people in your backyard, how would you feel about it?
The owner of Fresh Soul is one of many local business owners condemning the camp, saying elected leaders need to take immediate action.
They say the people living at the camp should rapidly be moved to shelters to receive services. The East Spokane Business Association recently passed a resolution asking for change before the holidays. Esther Bowers live at the Fred Meyer, which is right next to the camp, with the timeline and trouble local businesses are in.
Well, local businesses want to see the camp cleared by Thanksgiving. Now, for the first time, we're hearing from the store manager here at Fred Meyer on how the camp is impacting his store inside and right here in the parking lot. Empty cart stalls are the least of their worries in this lot.
People have been abducted and raped in our parking lot. We have had fights break out in our parking lot with people being seriously injured, requiring medical attention.
Jesse Smith says he's managed this Fred Meyer since 2018, but things changed when this camp moved in.
We have realized a huge spike in crimes of all kinds in and around our property every day and at all times.
How did Spokane allow this to happen?
It's a question with no easy answer and no simple solution, but these business owners are setting a deadline and demanding change.
Immediate and necessary steps to remove the illegal camping on the public property. We're asking you to do that before Thanksgiving 2022.
From Fred Meyer to Fresh Soul.
I got a right to be up here, voicing my opinion about Camp Hope. It needs to go.
The local restaurant owner who's worked to revitalize the community is devastated at what it's becoming.
A lot of people don't feel protected in our neighborhood right now
Because of this camp and the nightmare their neighborhood is living in. And we continue to follow this story very closely for you. We told you about that breaking news at the top of the show. I'll be at that city council meeting happening tomorrow where we're expecting a vote and big changes on the way to local shelters. Reporting live in East Central, Esther Bauer, 4 News Now.
Esther, thank you. State, city, and county leaders can agree on one thing. Camp Hope will eventually be gone.
They can't agree on a date to clear the camp. Local leaders say they want it disbanded by November 15th. State agencies say they don't have a set deadline to clear the camp, but are actively working to find housing for everyone there. Bronte Sorotsky joins us live from Camp Hope with why state agencies say they can't set a deadline. Bronte.
Well, state agencies say to set a deadline to clear Camp Hope, there would need to be enough shelter space to house people long term. They say they don't see that yet, but they are looking on various solutions to help people leave the camp.
We're committed to this camp is going to close.
That's one thing state, city, and county leaders can agree on. But when Camp Hope will close remains up in the air.
No, there is not a set date.
State agencies say they can't agree with a set date to clear Camp Hope because they don't know where everyone would go yet.
The difficulty of that question, in our opinion, is it's tied to when we will secure proper housing to actually address moving them. We don't have all the housing right now. We don't know when we're actually going to get it all. And so it's difficult for us to tell you exactly when that is.
In the meantime, these agencies say they're working to find housing solutions for people at the camp.
There's a number of folks that are in this camp that will need permanent supportive housing. So they'll need housing that both is long-term, but also where they get the kinds of services, mental health or otherwise, that they need to support them in their ability to stay there.
On Tuesday, county officials announced the opening of an emergency operations center to start the process to clear the camp. These state agencies say this won't affect their process to stabilize and clear the camp.
All the things that they are talking about doing or building into the EOC, we're already doing them. I mean, that's what this operation is about.
They say their main focus is to find a variety of housing options for people at Camp Hope, instead of rushing to close the camp and move people inside like the city is trying to do. Well, yesterday, the sheriff said that they want to see these state agencies come to the table when it comes to talking about Camp Hope. WashDOT says that they will if the county lifts their lawsuit against them. Reporting live in East Central, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. Well, let's send it over now to meteorologist Matt Gray with a look at your first alert forecast.
Anyways, had some showers off and on throughout the day today, and there's still a few sprinkles lingering around the inland at northwest this evening, although most of us staying pretty dry. And we're actually seeing even the skies clear around parts of eastern Washington. Take a little zoom in here, and you can see Pleasant View and around the Newman Lake and Hauser area, all seeing some spotty showers. Also on the east side of Post Falls, we're seeing a little sprinkle. Howtown seeing that as well in Kootenai County. We head up to the north, and as you head to the east of Ponderay, we're also seeing a couple little showers. Looks like Schweitzer picked up some more snow here over the past hour to hour and a half. So some good news there, building that snowpack for ski season, which, boy, is not going to be too far away from now. We're going to continue through the kind of beginning of the 7 o'clock hour. See those little sprinkles continue to hang around. Temperatures dropping into the upper 30s fairly quickly. We'll be in the upper 30s by the time we're back on the air here tonight at 11 o'clock. Overall, a little bit more enjoyable than some of the rainy weather we have seen around the region recently. And we are going to get a break from the wet weather as we head into Thursday. And that means some rare sunshine at this point in the year, which will be nice. It's not going to stick around for long, though. We'll show you when more wet weather will return coming up.
Matt, thank you. A student at East Valley High School is facing charges after district officials say she put her hands on a staff member. Law enforcement was called to East Valley High School in Spokane Valley right before lunchtime today. Superintendent Brian Talbot tells 4 News Now that the student hit a staff member but could not say what prompted the violence, and that student was taken into custody. She now faces assault charges. Talbot says the teacher is shaken up by the incident but is otherwise okay. He says no one should put their hands on another person. A full investigation is underway.
Spokane Valley police are still searching for the person who stabbed a teenage boy. It happened near the Centennial Trail by East Indiana and Flora, where the victim and another teen were shooting a pellet gun. One of them walked away into the trees and heard the victim yell. He told deputies when he looked back, he saw a man in all black clothing running away. He called for help and the victim was taken to the hospital. He remains in critical condition. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Check. Take a look at your screen. There's that number, 509-456-2233.
Happening right now in North Idaho, the Hayden City Council is inviting the public to weigh in on a ballot item that would raise property taxes, and all the money would go toward boosting the city's police budget by over $500,000. It would fund the hires of 5 new sheriff's deputies and an extra school resource officer. Right now, there are 4 deputies patrolling Hayden, so that money would double the force. If passed, it would cost people who own property valued at $500,000 or more about $6.76 extra in taxes per month. The meeting started at 6 o'clock tonight at Hayden City Hall on Government Way. A Kentucky man got to fulfill his lifelong dream of playing dead on TV.
I really went for it. Shoot for the stars. His bizarre strategy to get noticed online coming up. Plus,
coming up here tonight, this mural at Gonzaga was vandalized by a white supremacist group. What's being done about this issue so far, and what local leaders are saying?
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your greed! There's a clear choice for Senate. While Tiffany Smiley stood with Mitch McConnell and the big drug companies to oppose lowering the cost of prescription drugs, Patty Murray is busy working for us.
I worked with Democrats and Republicans to ban surprise medical bills, and I led the fight to pass legislation to lower the cost of prescription drugs, including capping insulin at $35 a month. I'm Patty Murray. I approve this message to focus on what really matters, you.
That smile, Matthew Perry. Now he's ready to tell the story behind that smile.
Secrets kill people like me.
The exclusive breaks tomorrow on GMA. Then the Diane Sawyer interview everyone will be talking about. Friday night on ABC.
September 7th was horrible.
All hell broke loose.
80% of the town lost their homes.
My family's home burned to the ground. It was just heartbreaking. Kathy was there for us.
Not taking political sides.
She's done a lot.
Put her name on the line to help here.
Kathy helped us start the journey to rebuilding.
She went above and beyond. She genuinely, actually cares.
I'm Kathy McMorris-Rogers, and I approve this message.
If you're looking to score big on the best lineup of certified used or new
SUVs and trucks just in time for the winter months,
plus get up to 60 months low interest financing,
then come on down to Finley for a touchdown of savings.
I've never liked political ads that attack. But with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes a tent city has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
Next DT, only we're at home with Bob Saget's widow, Kelly Rizzo.
be equally thrilled and surprised.
Plus, we're getting in the holiday spirit with our Catherine McPhee and David Foster exclusive.
Okay, so maybe more children? I'm just saying this is over.
Then Halloween week rolls on with guest co-host Marseille Martin.
It's another ET exclusive.
Next DT.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Patriot Front insignia now popping up in Spokane. These spray-painted messages representing the white nationalist group were seen on both the Monroe Street Bridge and at Gonzaga University this week. And this group was part of the Unite the Right rally in 2017. 31 members were arrested during a Pride event in Coeur d'Alene this summer after being found in the back of a U-Haul wearing riot gear.
KXLY's Jordan Smith is at Gonzaga's campus. He joins us from where this vandalism took place. Jordan. Looks like we are not ready for Jordan just quite yet. We're going to get to him in just a few minutes. Let's switch gears now. Matt Gray has been standing by. He was talking about the tink, tink, tink of hail earlier. Let's go see.
Sound.
Yeah, that's the sound.
In case you weren't with us at 5 p.m., I asked, what is the sound? And I love that effect that Aaron gave.
The sound of hail. Let's see what other sound effects he has in store for us this week.
Yeah, that's right. We did see a little bit of hail in today around the inland northwest, and what we have now is a little bit of a break in our weather. So that's what we're seeing currently. You look at the live radar and satellite picture, and although it looks like the next storm is just a couple of moments away, it is going to work its way across the mountains. Not going to bring much, though, in the way of wet weather to us. So we get a nice little break. That's always good. Temperatures overnight tonight down into the 30s. Down to about 32 in Colville, mid-30s for Spokane, upper 30s in Coeur d'Alene, and freezing in the Met-Howe Valley. Overall, though, should be a fairly quiet night. We will see some temperatures a little bit cooler as you head north of town, places like Deer Park. We'll show you that in the next half hour coming up. As we go into Thursday, yeah, pretty nice look a day. Nice to see some sunshine back out into the forecast. We'll look at your extended outlook coming up here in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Matt, thank you. Well, it took more than 300 attempts, but one Kentucky man's dream to play a corpse on TV finally came true. He's still alive. He's still alive.
He plays dead well, though, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, you would think from these videos. For a year, he posted videos online playing dead, including laying out on a frozen lake, dying, and even recreating a scene from Die Hard. CSI Las Vegas flew him to the filming location for his debut, playing a body in the morgue.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mr. Sandless.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. You'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
Scotty has never seen our children.
A price I was honored to pay.
Today, too many families are having to sacrifice, and I fear we are losing our country. Life is unaffordable, and our communities less safe.
We need change. That's why my hero, Tiffany Smiley, is running for Senate.
I won't stop fighting until we leave our children in America worth giving their eyesight for.
You got this.
With your help, we will. I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
Right now, before rates go up, get what you really want. The coolest cars, the most powerful trucks, and the hottest SUVs. Get the max for your money during the Time to Buy event. 0 down, 0 payments till next year. 0 cost, max lifetime warranty, 1.9% interest. And get this, $4,000 over KBB for your trade. Plus, get a $250 gas card with purchase. Right now, the Time to Buy event. Hurry in, 7 days only. It all ends Tuesday night. Only at Max Auto Sports.
My husband and I have had the Harvester for about 13 years. If there's anything you want to know about Spangle, come in and find out at the Harvester. Avista contacted us about the business partner program to upgrade our lights to LED lights. Between the energy efficient rebates that we got in the grant, it was completely free to us. On our energy bill, we're saving about $500 a month. Everything has gone up, so that savings has been a huge help to the restaurant.
What is currently going on is not working. We need to reduce crime and improve public safety.
We need to support and refund our police.
The cost of living is drastically affecting my family.
Everything now is too expensive.
This year, your vote matters more than ever.
Vote.
Vote. Vote.
This year, I'm voting Republican.
We're voting Republican.
I'm voting Republican.
Let's vote.
Patriot Front insignia now popping up in Spokane. Spray-painted messages representing the white nationalist group were seen on both the Monroe Street Bridge and Gonzaga University this week. This group was part of the Unite the Right rally in 2017, and 31 members were arrested during a Pride event in Coeur d'Alene this summer after being found in the back of a U-Haul wearing riot gear.
KXLY's Jordan Smith is at Gonzaga's campus. He joins us from where that vandalism took place.
Well, this is what students at Gonzaga call the Wall. It's a place where people can come and paint announcements. It's something they've been doing for years. But earlier this week, it was vandalized with multiple logos of the Patriot Front spray painted on the mural right here. They've since been removed. Just 2 miles away at the Monroe Bridge, it's a similar story.
Just months after 31 Patriot Front members were arrested in northern Idaho, another emblem of white supremacy was found in our region.
It's a statement that is meant to intimidate, is meant to strike fear in us, and is meant to recruit more young people.
Christine Hoover is the past director for the Gonzaga Center for the Study of Hate. She says these hate groups target college campuses to recruit young minds into a cause disguised as patriotism. These insignias were spray painted on the wall at Gonzaga and again on the Monroe Bridge, just 2 miles away, all of which have since been painted over. While at Gonzaga, I caught up with Raymond Reyes, founder of the Center for Hate Studies at Gonzaga. He arrived in Spokane 48 years ago when the Aryan Nation moved into the region.
The reason why this was a convenient space to populate that kind of ideology back in the day was because there was extreme tolerance.
But our community has since adapted, and he says we must remain firm.
We need to get people to care about something, to draw boundaries around what they value versus what they will not tolerate.
He says when these messages are spread, communities have to respond. I asked him what ours should be.
Silence is endorsement. We need to speak out, we need to act, but it needs to be sustained and long term.
And if you come across any hate messages or hate symbols like the ones that we just showed you, you can report them. A great resource is Spokane Hate Bias Report. It's a place where the community can report hate incidents and have them taken care of. Reporting from Gonzaga tonight, I'm Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
And we get into your forecast. Shaping up to be a nice evening. We just had a beautiful sunset over Spokane. I guess still going the hours of dusk here. 46 right now in the Lilac City, 42 in Coeur d'Alene, where the roads are still a little damp from some of the rain that came through in the past couple of hours. This is the hail that I got at my house, and we are saying it is hail, not grapple, because it's not fuzzy. Instead, it's just little tiny, almost translucent ice pellets. So if you want to know what the difference is, that's the difference. That when we talk about grapple, it's a weird word, right? But it's that fuzzy hail, a little bit of snow and melted water mixed together. All right, let's talk about tomorrow. No chance of that because it's going to be a nice, quiet, beautiful day across the Northwest. You notice the wind speeds here, though. It is going to be a little blustery at times, so you definitely want to keep the same layers of jacket on that you did over the last couple of days when the wet weather and the clouds had made it feel a little bit on the chillier side. But our average highs are in the 50s at this point in the year, and we're going to get back up to that for the first time in a few days in the afternoon. So our high in Coeur d'Alene tomorrow, 55, 53 in Spokane. We even get up to 50 in the Silver Valley. We've got a few 60s on the board as well. That's a change. 62 in Lewiston, 61 in Moses Lake, still in the 40s in the North Panhandle. And here are those wind gusts, and you'll certainly notice that around lunchtime, especially on the West Plains, South Spokane County, and down through the Palouse, as well as around Lake Coeur d'Alene. It'll be a little blustery at times with those wind gusts, that 20 to 30 miles per hour. As we head towards the 7 o'clock hour, we'll start to see that begin to wane just a little bit. And that's probably a good thing because there's going to be a lot of people in sweaters for Thursday night football. Look at that in Pullman. Forecast, it's late October. It's football weather. Looks pretty good in my estimation, at least. Nice to have a break from the wet conditions. However, we are going to be watching on Friday morning for a little bit of rain to work its way across the mountains, and perhaps by the morning drive in around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Not expecting this to last very long or to be a major issue. However, if you're in Bonners Ferry, if you're in Sandpoint, might be a little bit wetter for you. Same with folks that are watching us from the Colville and Kettle Falls area as well. But I'm thinking just a light little sprinkle. You can see it fades out pretty quickly. Now this is Saturday, a couple little showers, but overall our rain chances under 30%. You should be able to go about your plans and not have to worry too much about what's going on other than just the occasional little inconvenient sprinkle. Now Sunday, this is when things are going to change, and on one of these big atmospheric rivers, look at all that wet weather piling on to Vancouver Island, Western Washington, British Columbia. And some of that will push its way across the mountains. Maybe not on Sunday morning, but by the end of the day on Sunday, it is going to be a little bit soggy around here, and that's going to continue on into Halloween. Now, how long it lasts on Monday is still a little bit of a question there. So trick-or-treating with the kids, may want to have that raincoat on standby just in case. But we'll keep you updated as we go throughout the week. But you can see those rain chances slowly but surely increasing in the back half of the weekend. So we'll just watch for that brief little shower on Friday. Other than that, it's all about the end of this month and heading into November. We're expecting colder conditions as we enter the first couple of days of the month. It's one reason why I have the little wintry mix icon here for next Wednesday. Lots of moving parts here, so just keep an eye on the forecast for the middle of next week and enjoy the nice seasonal weather that we have right now.
Thank you, Matt. And we sat down with the Idaho gubernatorial candidates that received the most votes in the primaries to see where they stand on the issues you care about most.
Coming up in sports, Gonzaga's first game is just days away. You'll hear from a Bulldog insider on the keys to victory for the Zags.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
In America, we have a pressure from every quarter trying to destroy the opportunity for people to be able to build their own futures. We see an economy that has gone from the strongest economy that we have seen to one in which we have raging inflation. Our borders must be protected. We are seeing unprecedented entry, 2 million illegal entries with the drugs and the violence that comes with it. I'm going to fight to make sure that we stop those problems. I'm Mike Crapo, and I approve this message.
The more I learn about Tiffany Smiley, the more worried I get.
Tiffany Smiley has said that it would be awesome to have Donald Trump support. Donald Trump is far from awesome.
She questioned the integrity of the 2020 election.
Come on. Smiley promised Mitch McConnell that she would flip control of the Senate to him.
They could rig the courts with more extreme judges.
She could give Mitch McConnell the power to pass a nationwide abortion ban.
That's horrible.
The more you learn about Tiffany Smiley, the worse it gets.
Women voters responsible for the content of this advertising. When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
They keep us safe, put their lives on the line every day. Yet radicals want to defund the police and give criminals get-out-of-jail-free cards. That's the last thing we need. Law enforcement has a champion, Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Cathy says no to defunding the police and voted to secure more funding for local police departments. Endorsed by police and sheriffs, Cathy backs the blue and they back her.
I'm Cathy McMorris Rodgers and I approve this message.
I'm Chris Jordan. As Assistant Attorney General, my profession is public safety. I'm a union member and fourth-generation Spokaneite running to be your commissioner. I'll target root causes of crime with smart investments. We can boost affordable housing options and childcare and take the politics out of homelessness, working together as a region for real solutions. Let's build a future in Spokane County where working families can thrive. I'd be honored to have your vote.
4 News Now is brought to you by Chewelah Casino.
Oh, can't wait. This time tomorrow night, Washington State will take the field against reigning Pac-12 champion Utah. Now, a Thursday game poses many challenges for the Cougars. Not only is it a short week of preparation, but Wazoo might not get the home field advantage it's looking for. The last time Washington State hosted a Thursday night game in Pullman was 2013 against Arizona State. It was Wazoo's lowest attendance total for that entire season, and it resulted in a loss. When asked why Cougs fans should show up for tomorrow night's game, head coach Jake Dickert said, why not?
To have the defending Pac-12 champions come into our place, what an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs. Okay, so my question is, why not show up, right? We've been in Pullman businesses, we've been with the student body, we've been with Greek life. I mean, there's a lot of people that we're committed to being great here. Okay, and these are those moments on a Thursday night when there's a lot of things you could do, when you could watch it from TV, show up, support your team.
Kickoff against number 14 Utah is set for 7 o'clock tomorrow night from Martin Stadium. We'll have live coverage from Pullman before the game right here on 4 News Now. College basketball will be making a rare appearance in October when number 2 Gonzaga takes on number 11 Tennessee in an exhibition game Friday in Frisco, Texas. Gonzaga is 3-1 all-time against Tennessee. The Bulldogs' only loss came to the Volunteers in their most recent showdown in 2018. The big question heading into this matchup is if Gonzaga will run its normal offense and defense, or if head coach Mark Few will experiment with different in-game scenarios and lineups, since it is an exhibition after all. 4 News Now sat down with Locked On Zags insider and host Andy Patton. Patton says one thing he'll be looking for is a steady diet of that guy, preseason National Player of the Year, Drew Timme.
I think the biggest thing really is getting Drew Timme established early, getting him going right off the bat. I mean, that's been a key to a Gonzaga victory for years now, and it's kind of doesn't even matter on an opponent in that situation. Like, that's going to be a key against every team every time you play them, and that's the opposing team's goal every single game, is to not let Gonzaga and not let Drew Timme get established early. If this Zags team can get him the ball early, I think the amount of shooters that are around Drew Timme this year is staggering.
Timmy's teammate and Gonzaga guard Julian Strother was named to the Julius Erving Award watch list. The annual award recognizes the best small forwards in all of college hoops. Strother was an All-West Coast Conference honorable mention last season after averaging a little more than 11 points a game. Strother, Timmy, and the rest of the Zags take on Tennessee. Tip-off 6 o'clock Friday from Frisco, Texas. And the game can be seen for $9.99 on pay-per-view. That'll wrap us up for sports, guys.
Julian, thank you. Election day is almost here, and we're taking your questions directly to candidates.
Spokane County Commissioner candidates for District 2 talk about solving issues that matter to you coming up after the break. And 5 people are fighting for your vote to be the next governor of Idaho. Hear from the candidates who got the most votes in the primary about education and abortion rights in the Gem State.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
September 7th was horrible.
All hell broke loose.
80% of the town lost their homes.
My family's home burned to the ground.
It was just heartbreaking.
Kathy was there for us.
Not taking political sides.
She's done a lot.
Put her name on the line to help here.
Kathy helped us start the journey to rebuilding.
She went above and beyond. She genuinely, actually cares.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers, and I approve this message.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers. A fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you are free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
At Providence, we've been investing in the health of the community and raising the standard of care for over 160 years. And we are honored to bring you top-rated Medicare Advantage coverage. Providence plans start at just $0, include dental, hearing, and vision, and connect you to a network of thousands of local providers. Providence. Join us as we make communities stronger by building true health together.
When the weather outside is frightful, your home or office can be delightful. American craftsmanship is getting harder to find and even harder to experience, but not with Vermont Casting. Stoves and inserts are hand-built with you in mind. No detail is too small. The result? Timeless furniture, quality beauty that delivers efficient heat to your home. Vermont Casting is handcrafted to set your living space apart in style and in comfort. Visit our showroom for gas, wood, and pellet stoves. Andy's Heating and Cooling since '72, thanks to you.
Crisis on the nation's largest transportation system. What happened when Lisa Guerrero rode the subways? Next, Inside Edition, the Green Goblin Gang, the sudden acts of violence.
I've been here nearly 1 hour and I haven't seen a single police officer.
Then, beachside proposal gone wrong. Will they ever find their engagement ring lost in the sand? Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
In our For the People election coverage tonight, we are taking a closer look at the race for Idaho governor.
It's a crowded ballot with less than 2 weeks to go before Election Day. These 5 people are all on your ballot. The 2 men who walked away with the most votes in the Idaho primary, incumbent Republican Brad Little and Democratic challenger Stephen Hite. In our For the People coverage, Peter Choi sat down with the 2 front runners to see where they stand on issues that matter to you.
Great things done in the last 3 years, and I want to do some more in the next 4 years.
I want to be an agent of change.
Idaho governor race is heating up. Democrat challenger Stephen Hite says he's a Christian and believes in women's rights to choose.
People shouldn't be telling other people what they can and can't do with their bodies. I don't think the government should have that power.
Current Idaho governor and Republican nominee Brad Little says he's pro-life. He wants to wait and see what the federal court says about abortion issue. He signed one of the nation's strictest abortion bans into law back in March.
Right now we've got the Idaho Supreme Court has got 2 or 3 cases they put together. The federal courts have got an issue there. So we need to see those balls are still in the air, and we need to see where they land.
Concerning economy and inflation, Hyde wants to push for tax reform,
especially with property taxes. And I think that's going to go a long ways for helping Idahoans with the present economy situation that we have going on.
On the other side, Little wants to continue lower taxes.
And in fact, we did $125 million 2 years ago in property tax relief that not all communities, but many communities took advantage of.
Both candidates says they will fund the education system properly.
September, we also put 330 million into K-12 and 80 million into in-demand jobs. There's still more to be, more detailed work about how those two different pots of money get spent.
We've got to get the classrooms properly funded, and the first thing to properly fund them is getting teachers on a pay scale so that there's not a negative flow of teachers flowing out of Idaho, but there's a positive flow of teachers coming into Idaho because.
Now, both candidates say the participation is important for this election, and they're hoping for high voter turnout on November 8th. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
All right, taking a live look out over Spokane. At least in Spokane County, the clouds have cleared away after a bit of a showery day across the inland northwest. And we're still seeing some showers this evening as you go across the state line into North Idaho. And that's exactly where we're going to start this evening. You can see just to the north of downtown Coeur d'Alene, or right along Highway 95, we're seeing yet another little shower working its way through the area. And there's the new radar scan update now. It is moving out of the area. It's started to move on towards Hayden Lake. Let's take a little zoom in. So yeah, still sprinkling just a little bit over Dalton Gardens. Just moved over the south end of the lake in the Clarksville area and then out fairly quickly. If you work further north on the highway towards the Garwood area, also a little sprinkle there as well. This should be about it for the night. Now that the sun is pretty much all the way gone down, we're going to lose any juice the atmosphere has left for those little showers that did pop up this afternoon, and yeah, even produced a little bit of hail and other mixed varieties of precipitation. Pretty quiet tonight. Upper 30s for most of the overnight hours. We'll dip into the mid-30s in the morning. Mix of clear skies and clouds, but we'll end up mostly cloudy overall. Still some areas down close to freezing tonight. 32 for Colville will be pretty close around parts of the Palouse. Pullman gets down to 34 tonight. Ritzville a little chilly as well at 33. So we are going to see a little bit of a break in our wet weather. That starts right now. I'll show you how long it lasts coming up.
Matt, thank you. For the very first time, East Spokane will be voting for a county commissioner separate of West Spokane and the rest of the county. Improvements to public safety and homelessness are the top issues for all county commissioner candidates.
In District 2, two different candidates with similar backgrounds are looking to get your vote. Both Michael Cathcart and Amber Waldrop have been Spokane City Council members. Cathcart is in year 3 of his first term. Waldrop was a council member for 8 years and for the past 4 years has been the director of The Zone, a collaborative program at the Northeast Community Center. 4 News Now's Rania Kaur reports on the candidates' similarities and their differences.
Democrat Amber Waldrop and Republican Michael Cathcart want to bring their experience of serving as Spokane City Council members to the county.
Quite frankly, one of the reasons I'm running for county commissioner is that I don't think the county has worked as well with others as it could.
Collaboration is a criticism and a reason both candidates say they're running.
I'm a city council member in the city of Spokane, and I would say that this is the city's purview far too often. It's our way or the highway. And that's just not going to work for any of us to collaborate and cooperate together.
They both want to partner with the cities and the state to enhance public safety. Waldrop wants to direct funding towards police accountability and proven crime reduction programs.
When I was on city council at the city of Spokane, we worked a lot on, police accountability. And that means funding good training, body cameras, all of those things that keep the police and the community members
accountable to each other.
While Cathcart wants to make sure there is enough funding for deputies.
Broadly speaking, the criminal justice system, the sheriff's office in particular, because we do need to hire a number more deputies. And I've been a strong supporter of law enforcement since I've been on the city council, a big proponent of public safety. I'm currently the public safety chair for the city council.
He completely supports the efforts to clear Camp Hope.
There is a public safety crisis that's going on, so while we continue to connect folks to services, connect folks to track, to get those services, get them out of the elements. Obviously the weather is turning, it's getting really cold. We have to do something to get those folks away from that site.
Waldref has a similar approach to tackling homelessness.
Camp Hope was never a good answer to anything. So I'm hoping we can get people sheltered, we can build more housing, we can identify ways to keep people sheltered with others. There's a lot of strategies we can use, and we've got a lot of experts in our community that will help us do that.
Representing East Spokane, it'll be your vote that determines which candidate will be the voice for District 2. Reporting for 4 News Now, I'm Rania Kaur.
Another race we're keeping an eye on is the race for U.S. Senate. This weekend, Republican candidate Tiffany Smiley and Democratic incumbent Patty Murray will face off in Seattle. You can watch the town hall right here on 4 News Now this Sunday or stream it on KXLY.com or our app, KXLY Plus, starting at 5.
This Saturday is your chance for a free ride on the Louvre Carousel. Starting at noon, stop by the TDS Fiber booth outside the carousel for your free tickets. There will also be a prize wheel, and you can take pictures with Spokane Indians mascots Otto and Doris, as well as the Chiefs mascot Boomer. To see what other fun events are going on across the Inland Northwest, look for our What Are We Doing This Weekend series on our YouTube page.
We have a consumer alert for anyone who uses Pine Sol to clean their home. Clorox is recalling 37 million bottles that might have a bacteria that could be harmful to people with compromised immune systems or with external medical devices. Now, they aren't reporting any people getting sick, but 8 different versions of Pine Sol have been recalled. To see which types are being recalled, head to the Consumer Product Safety Commission's website.
Every Breast Cancer Awareness Month, doctors bring attention to the importance of women getting their regular mammograms.
And this is especially important for women over the age of 40 or women who have dense breast tissue. And that means that there's more glandular tissue than fatty tissue. Dr. Jess Welsh at Providence says while having a high breast density is not out of the ordinary, it can make breast cancer difficult to detect. On a mammogram, like you see on your screen, the tissue shows up white. Well, so do tumors, making them harder to see. Dr. Welsh recommends getting mammograms regularly, and some women may need more.
The next step would be to get some what we call diagnostic imaging. So this usually involves another mammogram with kind of some increased compression to specific areas where there's concern, and then also combining with that with an ultrasound.
For women with high density breast tissue, it can be hard to detect cancer early, like we've said, so this makes the overall cancer risk a lot higher. But the Food and Drug Administration announced this month it's planning to implement new regulations for informing patients about their breast density and screening options by the end of this year or early 2023. For more information on breast cancer and dense breast tissue, see the story right now on KXLY.com.
And we have much more coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
Including how one Iowa man plans on scaring and a trick-or-treater who dares to come to the door on Halloween.
Scary.
Plus, President Biden laid out his plan to help give a family a little more breathing room as prices continue to rise. How his administration plans to crack down on hidden fees coming up.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington Trust Bank.
I've never liked political ads that attack. But with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes a tent city has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
Fred's carries the
the best selection of laundry sets anywhere. The innovative GE front load set is on sale at Fred's.
GE's vented front-load washers set the standard with absolutely no odor. This high-capacity washer also dispenses the right amount of detergent on every load.
Interested in a top-load washer? GE has several outstanding models to choose from.
Take advantage of the price and selection at Fred's Appliance.
When Fred's advertises it, we've got it. Get your new appliance today.
In America, we have a pressure from every quarter trying to destroy the opportunity for people to be able to build their own futures. We see an economy that has gone from the strongest economy that we have seen to one in which we have raging inflation. Our borders must be protected. We are seeing unprecedented entry, 2 million illegal entries, with the drugs and the violence that comes with it. I'm going to fight to make sure that we stop those problems. I'm Mike Crapo, and I approve this message.
This season, fall into Coeur d'Alene. Fall is a great time to visit Coeur d'Alene. With awesome weather, fall color cruises, exciting events, a variety of food, beer, and wine selections, and amazing accommodations. It's the perfect time to stay and play in CDA. Visit cdafall.com for more information.
They keep us safe, put their lives on the line every day. Yet radicals want to defund the police and give criminals get-out-of-jail-free cards. That's the last thing we need. Law enforcement has a champion, Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Cathy says no to defunding the police and voted to secure more funding for local police departments. Endorsed by police and sheriffs, Cathy backs the blue and they back her.
I'm Cathy McMorris Rodgers, and I approve this message.
Do you like candy? Well, I'm gonna eat you.
Okay. This Iowa dad's putting other Halloween
so
decorations to shame. Ooh, he's really scaring people. By ringing the doorbell, you awaken what he calls the monster. Get it?
Yeah, monster, yeah.
Little play on words there. And he created this monstrous doorway with a front door from scratch. He then incorporated a high-def TV for the blinking eyes, animated arms constructed from broom handles, and a homemade foam-hinged wreath for the monster's moving mouth.
So he operates the hands himself from inside, right?
I don't know. He must. Those broom handles, who would have thought? I can't put anything together.
So does he give them candy, or is that just it?
Oh, the door, he just eats kids.
He gets a trick. They get a trick, not a treat, I guess. Well, here's a treat. It's Wildlife Wednesday. Yay. There. That's called the segue into this beautiful heron that Jerry caught right as it was flying in front of one of these beautiful fall-colored trees there. So that is awesome over at Cannon Hill. Beautiful shot, Jerry. Thank you for sending this to us. It's all birds tonight on Wildlife Wednesday. That's just kind of how the cookie has crumbled this evening. Let's head over. Thanks to Seth for sending us this. This is a boreal owl. He says that he has had now 13 species of owl, 13 different species of owl that he has photographed now. So this is lucky number 13. Ooh, spooky. And he looks a little spooky there too, little guy. I took the picture where he was nice. He had another picture with kind of angry eyes, but you know, we don't want to judge. We don't want to judge him too much. The owl, that is, not Seth. Seth, you did great. All right. We also had Courtney Litwin. She was at the Saltese Uplands, and these are sandhill cranes, very rare, moving to warmer places, I would assume. So they're not going to stay here for long, but apparently they prance around when they want to communicate with each other. So you can see the one in the back is kind of looking right at the camera. So you got spotted there, Courtney. But hey, wonderful photos. Thanks for sending them in. And finally, it's almost November. Deborah caught this big old turkey tom here in town. And that, friends, is Wildlife Wednesday. Thanks for sharing. And we'll have some of this up on my Facebook page along with a one non-bird photo that we got in this week. Later on tonight. All right, so there we go. Wildlife Wednesday. Let's get on to your forecast, which will be a little bit bit less bird friendly unless you're flying whichever way the jet stream blows, as we are going to see a little bit windy conditions for the afternoon and into the early part of the evening. And so you'll want to keep that extra layer on because the wind's going to counteract any good feelings and warm feelings that we're going to get from a little bit more sunshine for tomorrow. We will see our temperatures go up a little bit. Instead of kind of topping out in the middle and upper 40s like we had the past couple of days, we're actually going to get up to where we should be. Average highs about 52. We'll be in the 53, 54 range around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene for the afternoon. So looking pretty nice, although most of the day we'll see mostly cloudy skies. We'll just get that little peak of sun in the afternoon. Overnight temperatures around the metro, little chilly in Deer Park and Spirit Lake tonight. Mostly upper 30s, though, up and down the I-90 corridor. Fairchild also getting down into the low 30s. And for our high temperatures, officially, Liberty Lake at 54, Valley at 55, 40s for Spirit Lake, low 50s for Spangle and Cheney, and 54 in downtown. It'll be a little bit warmer in Coeur d'Alene. It'll actually be one of our warm spots. When is the next round of wet weather on the way? Well, it's not going to be Thursday, but as we head into Thursday night, very late, we'll see some wet weather crossing the Cascades into the Met-Howell Valley. It's going to be weakening by the time it gets into the metro area, but certainly in the North Panhandle, you could see some rainy and breezy start to the day. This is about 9 in the morning, and then right after that, it just fades away really quickly. So I'm going to call for some sprinkles on Friday morning, and that's about it. Most of the day should be fairly nice. As we head into Sunday and Monday, though, not so much. We are going to see those showers begin to spread across the region. Off and on showers Tuesday. Chillier, maybe even chilly enough for a wintry mix by the time we get to Wednesday.
Thank you, Matt. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight. It's the Connors at 8, followed by the Goldbergs at 8:30. Then it's Abbott Elementary and Home Economics at 9 and 9:30. And you can catch Big Sky at 10.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
September 7th was horrible.
All hell broke loose.
80% of the town lost their homes.
My family's home burned to the ground.
It was just heartbreaking.
Kathy was there for us.
Not taking political sides. She's done a lot.
Put her name on the line to help here.
Kathy helped us start the journey to rebuilding.
She went above and beyond. She genuinely, actually cares.
I'm Kathy McMorris-Rogers, and I approve this message.
Chihuahua Casino's annual Halloween Boo Bash is this Saturday, October 29th. This year's theme is Heroes and Villains. Dress up in your favorite Heroes and Villains Halloween costume. You could win your share of $1,800 cash, cash prizes, and door prizes, costume contest, music with Key 101, jackpots, food, and fun. Chihuahua Casino is the place that treats you right. 100% non-smoking. Learn more at ChihuahuaCasino.com.
Appointed in 2018, Spokane County District Court Commissioner Eric Doima has ensured his decisions are made fairly and in accordance with the law. His judicial experience has established his commitments to integrity, impartiality, and independence. I'm Spokane County District Court Judge Jennifer Fossbender. Eric is the clear choice to continue to serve Spokane County. I encourage you to vote with me for Eric Doima as judge for Spokane County District Court.
I believe in justice for all. I'm Eric Doima, and I approve this message.
Working in the trades and making a living wage isn't talked about enough. That's why members of Associated Builders and Contractors and the East Valley School District are hosting Trades Night at East Valley High School on Wednesday, November 2nd. Parents and students from all school districts are invited to attend. From electricians to welders to general contractors and subcontractors, all will be there to share firsthand experience and employment opportunities. For more information, visit the ABC website and check out our Trades Night sponsors for November 2nd.
A lot of politicians like to talk big, but where's the action? Al French is a leader we can trust, and Al's results speak for themselves. Al has won funding for our roads to keep goods moving. As costs skyrocket, Al has pledged no county property tax increase. His opponent wants to give criminals a get-out-of-jail-free card, while Al dedicated more funding to the Sheriff's Department to keep families safe. I'm Al French. I'm asking for your vote so I can keep getting results for you.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo weekdays at 9 a.m.
President Biden today laying out the steps his administration is taking to provide people with what he calls breathing room as families continue to struggle with rising costs.
ABC's M. Nguyen explains how they plan on cutting costs.
Less than 2 weeks before Election Day, President Joe Biden announcing new actions aimed at lowering costs for American families.
To put more money in the pockets of middle income and working class Americans. To hold big corporations accountable.
The president vowing to reduce or eliminate billions of dollars in what he called junk fees, including banking overdraft fees, credit card late fees, and hidden hotel booking fees. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau released new guidance to ensure banks and corporations don't engage in unfair and unlawful practices. Biden using the example of a parent receiving a check that bounces.
You get charged $15. It's wrong. It's ridiculous. It's unfair. My administration is making clear today it's illegal as well.
Biden acknowledging there are economic frustrations nationwide while reminding Americans that inflation and gas prices have dropped since this summer.
We're seeing in the economy of 10 million new jobs and unemployment of 3.5%. Gas prices are continuing to go down.
But as the midterms near, a Reuters Ipsos poll found Biden's approval ratings have slipped since last week as consumer confidence is waning, according to the conference board.
My cell phone is disconnected because I can't pay the bill.
They say we're not in inflation, but it's economically, it's hurting us. Whether you call it whatever you want to name it, it's hurting all of us.
Those concerns driving Republicans' growing chance to take back Congress. But President Biden's remarks today at the White House mark another attempt in the last stretch before Election Day to show voters he's focused on turning the economy around. The Consumer Financial Protection Act prohibits unfair practices when consumers cannot reasonably avoid them. That's the law Biden is utilizing to crack down on banks and big corporations. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Vote with confidence this November. In Washington, our layered cybersecurity systems, trained officials, and election audits make sure every vote is counted accurately. After you've received your ballot packet in the mail, fill it out and send it back in your signed return envelope. You can also put it in an official Dropbox or submit it in person. Visit votewa.gov to register, find voting locations, and check your ballot status.
Celebrate spooky season with all things Svengoolie. It's MeTV's Svengoolie Halloween Bonanza all month long, featuring special programming and more.
Boo. Svengoolie's Bonanza, all October long on MeTV 4.2.
I've never liked political ads that attack. But with my opponent, we better start tightening budgets to pay for the state income tax that he supports. My opponent believes that tent city has never caused an increase in crime. We can expect more crime, more taxes, and more regulations that make housing more expensive. I support safer neighborhoods, lower taxes, and addressing homelessness and housing. I support you, the hardworking people of Spokane. Vote Kim, please, for County Commissioner.
There's a clear choice for Senate. While Tiffany Smiley stood with Mitch McConnell and the big drug companies to oppose lowering the cost of prescription drugs, Patty Murray is busy working for us.
I worked with Democrats and Republicans to ban surprise medical bills, and I led the fight to pass legislation to lower the cost of prescription drugs, including capping insulin at $35 a month. I'm Patty Murray. I approve this message to focus on what really matters, you.
Guys, what is going on? Where did you get this? What is in your mouth?
They need to burn that energy off.
Free recess in the gym.
Okay, all right, okay.
All new Abbott Elementary, tonight on ABC.
The more I learn about Tiffany Smiley, the more worried I get.
Tiffany Smiley has said that it would be awesome to have Donald Trump support. Donald Trump is far from awesome.
She questioned the integrity of the 2020 election.
Come on. Smiley promised Mitch McConnell that she would flip control of the Senate to him.
They could rig the courts with more extreme judges.
She could give Mitch McConnell the power to pass a nationwide abortion ban.
That's horrible.
The more you learn about Tiffany Smiley, the worse it gets.
Women voters responsible for the content of this advertising.
4 News Now is brought to you by Culligan Water.
It's been wet more often than not for the past few days, and it looks like that is going to continue, but at least for Thursday and for most of Friday. we should have dry conditions and even a little bit of sunshine, and you can never take that for granted this time of year.
Getting closer and closer to that Monday Halloween cat in a pumpkin and all the little pumpkins who are going to be out there trick-or-treating. I know a lot of my family members have been asking, have you been listening to your meteorologists, Kirsten?
Like, yeah, what's the real word on the street?
Waiting to hear.
Are you sure that's the case?
I'll tell you the secret info later.
Download the 4 News Now app today. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.